Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that I was really lucky to have a viewer send into me, which is an amazing flashlight. I can't wait to show you guys. It's actually kind of insane. But without further ado, we're going to be talking about the Atibal Ai-1 flashlight head. So it is actually a flashlight head. It's not the whole thing. It's not the whole package. But this is what was sent in to me, and I wanted to thank the user who sent it in to me. So let's get into the Atibal flashlight. So I really have no idea if I'm saying that right. Atibal, maybe not that one. But it is the Atibal flashlight. The Ai-1 flashlight is actually just the head. I think Atibal just makes their own heads. They don't make entire flashlights. But the amazing fact about the Atibal head is that you can put it on a flashlight body of any brand. You know, you can have Surefire, Modlight, anything that supports an 18650 or an 18350 battery will work on the head. Tail obviously doesn't matter. We'll get into that here in a second. So obviously when it comes to flashlights are like anything. There is a use for certain things, and there is also things that they're excelling in, or things that they don't do well. There are flashlights that have a lot of flood, a lot of spill, meaning where you don't really get a focused beam of light. You get a lot of light around the center, if you will. Sort of bleeds out of the center. This flashlight is literally the opposite of that. The beam out of this is more like a laser than it is a flashlight. Now with that laser-like focus of the beam, I really think this is amazing. Atibal claims you can see almost 2,000 feet with this, which is insane. I totally believe it looking at the beam, but the fact that you can use a flashlight to reach certain things that are almost 2,000 feet away, insane. So where this would come in handy, obviously, is for positive identification, so PID. So if you are trying to see either a human's face, an animal, if you're trying to see antlers, or maybe a collar on a dog that's bothering you, whatever, it's amazing. So PID is a very valuable resource, and I think the Atibal does a really good job at obviously giving some PID for those far out things that are in the dark. I will say, with that in mind, if you are ever looking at something that is maybe about 50 feet closer, this thing is going to blind whatever you're looking at. This thing is going to wash things out. It's really harsh on things close up. So I definitely would reinforce the fact that this is a long-range flashlight, if that exists. Now it does. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of keeping this. I do have to return it to the person who sent it to me, but I will say that I really would like to use this on a long-range gun. So this would be really, kind of at home on my Mark 12, and you could take that out at the middle of the night, and you could probably easily hit targets 500 yards-ish in the dark, completely with no night vision, just this flashlight head. So I really think that's awesome. For those of you who want to experience the joy of hitting a steel plate in the dark with your rifle, I mean, this is the way to do it. This is a little bit cheaper than a PBS 30, not as cool, but it'll still get you some night shots. So not really having known anything about Atibal going into this video, and I wanted to do some research on what it is, where can I find it, is it hard to get? First thing that jumped out to me is the price. So this is a very expensive flashlight head. This is not for those who are wanting a cheap or a budget flashlight. Around $300 for the flashlight head alone. Not to mention the body, the tail cap, the pressure pad that you need to get. Yeah, it's a deep hole. So naturally, I thought to myself, if this flashlight is so bright and so powerful, it can't have that great a battery life. I was actually really surprised. So on the 18650 that I have right here, it's around 3 hours of runtime, which is pretty respectable. The 18350 drops that down to around an hour, but you're doubling the battery. So with the battery life in mind, I would say that this is probably better suited for the 18650 body style, and in my opinion, you're going to be putting it on a longer range gun. I think it doesn't make any sense to get the 350. I would go ahead and get the 650 body and put that with the Atibal head. It gives you almost double, triple the battery life, and it makes sense for this application. So I am not a flashlight nerd. I will not pretend to be one. I don't really understand what these terms mean. I just know if a flashlight is bright or not. This is around 325 lumens, and it is 200,000 candela, which is a lot of candles, I assume, but it is insanely bright. So it doesn't really have a lot of lumens or luminosity, but it is really able to project that light. I mean, really, this is something that you have to sort of experience. Even standing here recording this video, if I were to turn it on in the room, I mean, it's insane. I don't understand how a flashlight can be so focused and so bright. It's literally a laser. So I was able to get some footage for you guys of me stepping out in my neighborhood and showing you guys what the light looked like at around 50, 100, and 150 yards. I do live in a neighborhood, so it's not very, dark. I would have loved to go out and, get some footage in the complete dark and actually go out to range, but I wasn't able to. Sorry. So I'm out here in my neighborhood walking around in the middle of the night, and I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I bring out the flashlight. I do have some street lights, and we have some things at varying ranges that I'm going to show you guys. I actually have a rangefinder. So to my left is a little bit of a darker area, a lot of tree cover, no street lights. Out here is sort of like a parking lot, some residential buildings, commercial buildings over here, some shops and whatnot. So I'm gonna bring out my rangefinder if you guys can see it. Okay, I know that was pretty hard to see through the rangefinder, but we have to our left the dark alley that's about 50 yards. We have that dumpster, the second dumpster over there, that's about 100. We have this building right here in the shadow that's about 50 yards, and then we have that building way over there, which is 150 yards. So I'm gonna start with the 50-yard dumpster over here. So as you can see, it's just absolutely insane. And then the alley over here, I mean, it's just nuts. And then all the way to the 150 yard, I mean, you can see all these vehicles right here, all the way over here. I mean, it's like a spotlight. And if you were wondering what it looks like pointing straight up in the air, well, here's your answer. Insane. This thing is literally a spotlight. So I just wanted to point out the fact that because this was sent in by a viewer, I do not really know how he sets up this sort of equipment, and I have really no experience in setting up this equipment, but this is sort of how I ran it. So he did include this HRF mount for the mod button, which is actually super cool. Gives you a little bit of an elevated position so where you can sort of ride your thumb on it. I wish it was able to get a little bit closer with the maul, but as you can see, there's a little bit of an interference right there with the end of the maul. But this is the left side of it, and then I'll switch it over and show you the other side. So I was sent the mod light housing. I believe this is a mod light housing. This is actually attached to my SR15 on a Arasaka mount, which is actually the first time I've used one of their mounts, and it was actually a really solid mount. I haven't had any issues with it, so that's definitely good to go for me. But on the end, we have the Surefire DSO, I believe DS00, and it has the clicky on off, so it is a constant on or constant off, and it also has the option for a pressure pad, which is nice because I really like having the pressure pad option. On some flashlights, I've kind of used that sort of as a pressure pad, if you will. But it's really nice that the tail cap, the DS00, allows you to do both. So definitely really cool. So as stated earlier, I think it is really cool that the Atibal is compatible with both the 18650 and the 18350. The one shown here is the 18650, which is the big boy. 18350 is about half of that. So it is really cool that they allow you to run both of them. Obviously, there will be a little bit of a difference between run life, but the fact that you can do it is really cool. Gives you some more options if you want to go for more of a compact flashlight. Thank you so much for the viewer who sent me this. Without you, I would have never known that this existed. It's viewers like that that really reward this whole experience for me. I really do this for you guys, and it's kind of a rewarding feeling to understand that, you know, you guys are actually enjoying this content. So thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow. We do have some exciting projects coming up. I know I keep saying that, but we have some really exciting stuff to show you guys. So I'll see you soon.